high school, and college level to better understand international affairs. And I'm happy to report that at Cal State Northridge, the CSUN Model UN team, for the second year in a row, placed first in the nation. Congratulations, Cal State Northridge.
Yeah.
Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my Vice President Program, Soraya Fallah, and introduce our eminent speaker today. Soraya.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending. On behalf of United Nations Association of USA, San Fernando chapter, would like to welcome every one of you for attending this program tonight. I'm delighted to introduce Ms. Jane Roberts, that being reason to hold this event. We want to welcome Jane here tonight. For those of you who belong to the UNAUSA, Jane wants you to know that she belongs to 3 different chapters right now. She's going to tell you what she has been doing for the last 7.5 years and how she hopes 34 million friends will go worldwide. She received an award from the American Public Health Association, was among the Women of the Year for Ms. Magazine, one of 121 leaders of 21st century for women in use, covering women's issue for changing women's life. She was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2005 as part of 1,000 Women Peace Project. She believed that peace cannot be achieved by one individual. She was recently named a global citizen by the Southern California Division of UNA. She has written a book called 34 Million Friends of Women of the World. She thinks she travels to 36 states and spoken at more than 50 colleges and universities. So please welcome Jane Roberts, who is going to talk to us about women, gender equality, and the Millennium Development Goals. I congratulate you on her International Women's Day and her achievements. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, here comes a lot more people. Every single human being who has ever been born has come out of the womb of a woman. You guys have a very important role, but honestly, unless we were here, human beings would not exist. Let me tell you a story. Now, this story is actually the first story in Half the Sky by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Nicholas Kristof and his wife Cheryl Hudon. Half the Sky, Turning Oppression into Opportunity for Women Worldwide. And I'm going to tell this story because it reveals a lot about the Millennium Development Goals in a way, of which I'm going to tell you a little bit in detail. Okay, there was a young girl, 15 years old, in Cambodia, rural village. The family had absolutely run out of resources. They were poor. And she and 3 friends heard of an opportunity to go next door to Thailand to wash dishes in a restaurant and be able to send money home to their parents. The parents were very nervous. They didn't want to let their daughter do this, but if she was going with 3 friends, they thought she would be safe. Well, you can imagine we have a case here of human trafficking. They were handed to gangsters and taken to Malaysia, locked in a brothel, kept naked so they wouldn't flee, were drugged, were made to be happy about their customers. And then at night, they were all bussed together back to an apartment building where they were at the 10th floor in an apartment, all 10 of them, with just barely enough to lie down, and they were locked in from the inside so they couldn't get out. Hillary Clinton, at her hearings to become Secretary of State, said, who comprised the majority of the world's, listen to this, unhealthy, unschooled, unfed, and unpaid. Now, people, that is true. That is true. When a girl is born out there in the world, oftentimes the family doesn't feed her as much as the boy. She's not sent to school. When she gets sick, they don't take her to the doctor. I mean, it's just incredible, this whole subject of gender inequality. Now, Stephen Lewis, who's a very famous man in some circles, okay, he's a Canadian, and he was the UN ambassador to Africa for AIDS for many years, says this. Now listen to these words. I have it right on my computer. I read it every morning. I challenge you to enter the fray against gender inequality. There is no more honorable or productive is saying that it's inexcusable. Millennium Development Goal number 5 is improve maternal health and to cut down by 3/4 this number of women dying in childbirth, but also to offer family planning. And that's the next thing that I want to talk to you about. You know, here in America, we take family planning for absolute granted. It's just something that we do, especially college people. I mean, let me tell you a little bit of my history. Out in the world, you really have to say this type of thing. 1 out of every 6 people on the planet is in a water-stressed area. India is having water problems. And I mean, this is a microcosm of what could happen on a global scale, really. So here's my poem. We are 34 million friends. We are 34 million friends. We are 34 million friends of the women of the world. We are reaching out to the world. We are going to have our say. We are reaching out to the world through the UNFPA. Every baby welcome now, loved and fed and vaccinated. Mothers, children learning now, reading, writing, educated. Every child a heartfelt joy, every child a book and toy, every child with wings unfurled, whether it be boy or girl. No more death while giving birth because the midwife's taking care. No more mothers in the earth because a midwife's helping bear. To AIDS and violence we say no, to family planning we say yes. Human rights are the way to go, surely we can do no less. Woman lying on a donkey cart, dirt road, heat wave, and in labor. Doctor put her in his truck. Luck that day was in her favor. And all of us who have so much, $1 we can share, to show the women of the world that we the people care. We are 34 million friends, and we are going to have our say. We are reaching out to the world through the UNFPA. Voila, thank you so much.
2% to Jane Roberts. Appreciation award for Jane Roberts, Nobel Peace Prize nominee and author of 34 Million Friends, the Women of the World, are speaking today on women, gender equality, and the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. Jane, we're so proud of you.